Hello everyone and welcome back to round 2 of the F2 2022 career mode. Yes, we return this weekend out in Saudi Arabia. If you missed out on the first couple of races from the season back in Bahrain, I would highly recommend going back and checking them out. You guys know Formula 2 is absolutely crazy. It's brilliant fun, and yeah, we had a fantastic time out of the first race weekend of the new season. Of course, racing as Assetto Corsa this career mode. We find ourselves P6 currently in the championship on 12 points. Sadly, there's no way on my wheel that we can have a look up and down the championship standings. I'll see if I can get an Xbox controller out from under my drawer. But yeah, thank you all, as always, so much for the continued support on the channel. We're getting very close to 87,000 subscribers at the time of recording this, so fingers crossed we can try and get even closer to 90k. Of course, if you're not already, please do make sure you get yourself subscribed for daily F1 content. But yeah, apparently you can't look up and down the championship standings. I'm pretty certain it's Bollock Bassi that leads the way on 25 points so far at the top of the table. So, I mean, sorry, 28 points even, I should say. So we're doing pretty well. You know, first weekend of the year is always a bit of a learning curve, everything like that. But Saudi has historically been a track I feel pretty confident at. So let's get out there then. Of course, today we'll do the qualifying and the sprint race. Tomorrow then we'll be back for the feature race as well. So you definitely don't want to miss this. Jeddah and Formula 2 cars is a crazy combo. Let's get into it. Formula 1 is finally back in 2022, and now you can rep your favourite teams. Of course, using the F1 store, every team now has merch lineups available, whether you're an Aston Martin fan, a Williams fan, Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, the choice is completely up to you. But yeah, check out the F1 merch store down below for all the official releases from all of the teams. And of course, as always, if you use our links as well, you massively help support the channel. So yeah, give it a look and see if there's anything you like. Right, well here we are then at the Jeddah Corniche Street Circuit for round 2 of the season here. And of course, one of the other things I love about coming to some of these circuits, of course, in Formula 2, qualifying in the feature race, of course, are in the daylight. So you get to see a bit more of the surroundings, you know, around tracks like Saudi Arabia as well, which is, of course, yeah, very cool. But just making a few setup tweaks then before we head out onto the circuit. Like I said, Jeddah has historically been quite a strong track for myself on previous F1 games, and has been so far, actually, on F1 22. Let's see if that's the same story, though, in the F2 cars here tonight. And let's get out some sweat mode and see if we can put this thing inside the top 10. Just made a bit of a mistake through the final corner there. We were trading fastest with Felipe Drugovich, but up towards the line, it's going to be P3 though. Still much better than we managed last time out, but that hurts to be that close to pole and just not quite be able to snatch it away there. Drogo will start on pole and pick up 4 bonus points.
From the excitement of qualifying, here's a look at your top 3.
Drugovich, Williams and Assetto Corsa.
Goodbye for now then. but we really are just getting started. Make sure you join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
Well, there we go then. Look at that. 900ths of a second separating our top 4 at the end of qualifying. But it is Felipe Drugovich who picks up, 2 bonus points for his troubles. We'll have a quick look at the championship standings as well. There, like I said, Jem Bollock-Bassi are leading the way on at 28 points there. Drugovich in P2, of course, with 2 bonus points, brings him within 6 there. Fred Vesti, Liam Lawson, Callan Williams, and then ourselves, like I said, in P6. But hopefully this weekend, yeah, I think Chem is a bit further down the order there. As you can see, we are leading the Constructors' Championship. Yeah, Cem Bollock-Bassi, down in P12 there, just ahead of his teammate Enzo Fittipaldi. And Fred Vesti, he had a nightmare, down in P21. So not a weekend potentially to remember for our teammate. But let's get into it though. Sprint race Saturday here from Saudi. Let's see what we can recover starting from P8. This channel is proudly sponsored by Bybit, the official crypto partner of Red Bull's Formula 1 team. I've been using their platform for my personal crypto savings over the last few months, and when they got in touch to support the channel, I was super excited. Currently, they're offering you guys a special new promo for the first 100 of you to deposit $10 or more onto the platform. You'll get another $10 free. Also, 5 lucky winners will get their initial deposit doubled up to $1,000. That means if you deposited $1,000 onto the platform using my codes below, you could be within a chance to get another $1,000 completely free. We've seen the landscape around crypto drastically change over the last couple of years, and I genuinely believe it holds an important place in our future. However, please be careful as always when trading, as you are liable to lose money. But if you're interested and you're 18 or older, click the link down below to get started and see why Red Bull and myself, as well as thousands of others, trust Bybit as their crypto.
Hello and welcome to the Jeddah Street circuit, where the excitement is building for what I'm sure will be an exciting Formula 2 race here in Saudi Arabia. So let's examine the Jeddah Street circuit. As you can see, this has the potential to be a very challenging track for our young F2 drivers. We'll get a good chance to see which of them have been able to best capitalise on their time spent here in practice earlier this weekend. And like the other street circuits on the calendar, the lack of runoff is going to make sections of this track very punishing if the drivers get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid having to bring out the safety car this time around. As we await the start of another hugely anticipated Formula 2 race, I'm joined again by Davide Valsecchi. Davide, as a former GP2 champion, can we get some insight to what is running through these young drivers' heads as they sit out on the grid?
Ciao Alex, it's a pleasure to be here. There are nervy moments, there is no doubts about that. Mental strength is the key to remaining calm and focusing on the upcoming race. Formula 2 is so competitive, and all of these drivers knows that they are going to be pushing each other all of the way. In this sport, you have to be able to control your nerves.
Right, well here we are then on the grid, ready for round 2 of the year here from Saudi Arabia. Strategy, of course, is just one set of medium tyres there. Only 10 laps, though, around this circuit. Of course, I always forget just how quick races go around the Jeddah Corniche circuit. But let me know down in the comments below where you think we'll finish in this one today. Of course, tomorrow we'll be starting right towards the sharp end of the field, but fingers crossed we can still put on a good recovery and score some good points here today. Formation lap as always first of all, and then fingers crossed, yeah, we can have a good running here in round 2 of the season. And we're heading down then in towards the final corner. I just suddenly had memories of the 2021 F2 weekend here, where of course they had to go backwards around the circuit after a red flag, and Dan Tickton famously saying this track would be even more dangerous somehow, going the wrong way around it. Very weird time in Formula 2. But getting ready then to line up on the grid here for round 2 of the season. Like I said, only 10 laps in this sprint race today, so we really are going to have to try and get on with it. But top end speed, an absolute essential thing here around the Jeddah Corniche Street circuit. Of course, high speed, high downforce. It is a tough test for every driver, and of course very little room for error as well. But trying to line ourselves then up on the grid, trying to make sure we're nice and square. We've done a horrible job of that, but we do line it on purple. Here we are though, lining up on the grid, waiting on the 5 red lights here from Jeddah. And it's gonna be a very long hold, but lights out and away we go. Trying to avoid too much wheel spin as we head down towards someone. And we got a much better start than Logan Sargent just in front of us, but he's going to try and look up the inside of Sato. We're going to try and look around the outside there, 3 wide, down at turn 1, and unfortunately we won't quite be able to put the power down off the exit of the corner there, but Sargent and Sato still side by side as we head in towards the next corner. Of course, Logan Sargent now confirmed if he gets the super license points he needs in Abu Dhabi, this weekend, he will officially become Williams Formula 1 driver next season. But as we head through this first sector on lap 1 there, cold tyres, cold brakes, everything like that, very, very difficult to try and get the car position where you need it. But Sargent is struggling off the start here to the outside of Logan Sargent there as we head down in towards the bank turn 12, and I think we might just have pulled this one off. We're still going to be side by side on the exit of the corner there. Logan Sargent giving me a big old squeeze. Of course, the wall's so close around most of this circuit. Logan Sargent around the outside, he'll go. Can we try and do the old up and under on the Carlin driver? Yes, we can, and we're still going to be side by side at that middle sector as we head down through what would normally be another DRS zone. Of course, you've got to wait those first 2 laps before you get the DRS activated, but we have made up a place then off the start of this race. There is catastrophic understeer through that corner. I don't know what it is in these F2 cars. I think the track falls away slightly as you head through the apex there, but always seem to face some understeer through that part of the circuit. But here comes Sargent then back to the inside in towards the final corner of lap 1. Make sure we don't do a Max Verstappen out of the final turn, but can we try and put the power down around the outside? Logan Sargent, fair racer, does give me the room around the outside. They're out of the final turn, and we will hold on then to P7 there. Gian Maruva leads the way at the end of that one, but you can see there are cars everywhere scrapping as we head back down towards someone called Deal. I think that's Dennis Hauger. We've got Jack Doohan as well, of course, 2 Formula 3 rivals, if I remember correctly, Dennis Hauger and Jack Doohan there. But heading down in towards the next couple of corners, Hauger, you're at the inside as we head through there, but Amory Cordial trying to get involved in all of this, and this is brilliant racing at the start of the F2 race, as you would probably expect, to be honest. You know, these cars, if you don't watch Formula 2 in real life in 2022, I would highly recommend it going into 2023. It's been the first year I've been able to properly sort of keep in touch with what's been going on. A lot more is almost into the back of Marina Sato there. Can we try and look around the outside? I don't think we'll put the power off the corner. No, we won't. But yeah, Formula 2 is just such a different breed to Formula 1 there. Much more entertaining, much more consistently as we head back through the next chicane. Are we going to be able to put the power down nice and tightly? Yes, we are this time round. And are we going to be able to get a run then on Sato as we head up in towards the next couple of corners here? Not really an overtaking place, but Sato, hello? We'll get to the inside there of Marina Sato, and he'll just kind of back out of it through the corner. Don't know how we pulled that one off, but we're under P6. As it is a Wassa applying pressure to Jan Marugler at the front of the field, but Jack Doohan again trying to look around the outside of Dennis Hauger down at turn 1. Like I said, the 2 former F3 rivals scrap now, and often don't see Amory Cordial inside the top 10. I'm sure he's got a nosebleed this high up the rostrum, but fair play to him. The Van Amersfoort driver clearly having a better weekend than often he's been able to showcase in Formula 2 there. It looks like Sato and Sargent have been left scrapping behind us, so we hopefully won't have to focus on our mirrors too much over the next couple of laps here. But Dennis Hauger still putting up a stern defence against Jack Doohan, who really did seem to adjust to the F2 cars a whole lot better than his rival. But Cordial there just sat in the middle of the road. We'll somehow wiggle our way to the outside of Cordial there through the next corner. But again, whoa! Amory Cordial there getting full opposite lock off the corner to slam the door. Was not expecting that from, I think he's the young Belgian, if I remember correctly. Oh, again, here goes Jack Doohan though around the outside of Dennis Hauger, of course, now with the DRS. Jack Doohan has got plenty more opportunities to try and make something happen there, but that is not what he wanted to do. Oh, we just had to lift out of it because I had no idea where Doohan was going to go, and lucky for Amory Cordial that he was able to avoid that one as well there. But Jack Doohan's lost the DRS throughout all of that, so him and Dennis Hauger must have been identical when they went through at the detection point there. But can we have a look to the inside of the young Australian there? We'll try and do the old up and under once more there, as him and Cordial are going to trip over each other 3 wide off of turn 1 there, and Jack Doohan's going to lose 2 places in 2 corners there. Can we have a look around the outside of Cordial? He'll give me the room. We'll get wedged over the curb there, still side by side as we head in towards the S's round the outside through the next corner. We'll go there, we'll park it on the apex. Cordial's still trying to come back at me, and we have pulled off a cheeky double overtake there A lot of understeer off the corner as Dennis Hauger has suddenly been given a lifeline. But now we've got to try and push on there. Lap 4, we're up to P4 of this race. We really have been able to pick off cars quite nicely early on. But Dennis Hauger, Ayumu Iwasa, Gian Daruvula are still leading the way. We've got 2 Premers inside the top 3. That does not do us any favours in the constructors. Just monitoring the gap at the front of the field. Iwasa and Gian Daruvula really tripping over each other as we get towards the halfway stage of this Grand Prix. Both myself and Dennis Hauger having able to take plenty of time out of the pair of them. But I think once more, we're running a bit more downforce than a lot of other cars because we are mighty fast through the first sector. But then when at the DRS, we are losing a lot of time there, so it is important that we get within the range of Dennis Hauger, which I think we just about have done. So we're going to get that little handy boost, that few extra kilometres of top-end speed as we head down the straights. But yeah, Iwasa and Daruvula are tripping over each other. This could very quickly become a 4-car scrap for the lead. Let's see if this is going to be a new fastest lap then finally with some clear air. Yes, it is a 42.7. As we got yellow flags out, someone's got issues. Don't say it's Gian Daruvula. Might be going slowly. It is Gian Daruvula, the Prema driver from the lead of this Grand Prix there, with yet another Mecha Chrome power unit failure, and Daruvala's out. We're up into the podium places. Ayumu Iwasa has been suddenly given a great opportunity to try and get a race win on the board here, but poor old Gian Daruvula, he apparently is going to be this week's driver to get Mecha Chrome. We've got to be quite strategic though here with Dennis Hauger, because I need to make sure that we don't lose much time battling him, and that we immediately launch ourselves into the DRS range of Ayumu Iwasa as well. At the final corner we'll go. Can we put the power down? Yes, we can, really nicely. That time round, as Doohan and Cordeal have really just spent a lot of the second half of this race so far tripping over each other. To the outside of Dennis Hauger though, as we head back down towards someone almost 190 miles an hour. These F2 cars are not slow, but you also don't want to do that on the brakes there. As now we're going to see, whoa, big snap of oversteer there as I tried to put the power down over the curbs. That is a lesson I've learnt not to do again then, as we made that same mistake last weekend, but with much more dire consequences right at the end of the feature race, if you remember. But we're going to have to try and get past Hauger again, as Iwasa is just getting a bit of breathing room at the front of the field. Right, let's try that again then on Dennis Hauger at the final corner. That time around not getting as good pickup on the throttle, but still should be able to apply some pressure to the young, I think he's Danish, isn't he? Young Dennis Hauger there to the outside. No, he's not Danish, sorry, he's from Denmark. No, I'm getting all confused there, but tell you what, Dennis Hauger's also looking at the front brakes down at turn 1. So I will take the position. He's Norwegian, was the country I was looking for. But anyway, yeah, casual overtake in the end as I try and remember my nationalities. But 3 laps to go then. Ayumu Iwasa, 1.9 seconds up the road. We've done a pretty good drive actually up to now, 8th to 2nd. But yeah, I'd love to try and walk away with the race victory, because I think it would promote us straight up into the championship lead. Or we'd be very close, sorry, to Jem Bollock-Bassey. Well, about to start the final lap then of this F2 sprint race, and it is still Ayumu Iwasa who leads the way here. We've been slightly quicker than him, but it hasn't been particularly comfortable at the moment. Iwasa is pushing, and I don't think, to be honest, we might just get one opportunity down in towards the final couple of corners, but we have not been taking the time out of him in the way I kind of hoped we would. Lap 10 of 10 though is about to begin here from Saudi Arabia, and it's certainly been a good race up to now. They're 6 thousandths away from my fastest lap, so we are definitely going quicker than Iwasa, but not by a huge amount there. It's clean and tidy through the first couple of corners. A little bit of a snap of oversteer off the exits. Look at that, Felipe Drogovic has done a pretty good recovery drive to be back up into 5th place here. He's made up some spots then, starting from P10 on the grid, but through these S's, this is where we're going to have to try and make up a lot of time on Iwasa. This is where we've been quick all afternoon long up to now there, as you try and just smooth the car in. You can't drag it around like a Formula 1 car, of course, with the ground effect on the new F1 cars. You can really feel them sort of grip to the road. The F2 cars are not the same. They slip and slide around still a lot around this venue, a bit like the old school Formula 1 cars of last year that were insanely high-tech. Still at the end of the day, I would love to have seen what one of the 2020 Mercs would have been able to do around this circuit. Ooh, nudge the wall there though, that's not going to do me any favours, as this is one of the corners that I've really been struggling to put the power down off. As we head in towards, we've got 2 more DRS zones to navigate this lap, but we need to get a good run out of this next corner here if we want any chance at getting past Ayumu Iwasa down in towards the final corner here, and we haven't done it. We got the wheel over the curb once more though. I think Iwasa has just about hung on. He might have just about done enough in this sprint race today. We took the sprint race victory last weekend, of course, with that last lap move on Yuri Vips. It's not quite going to be history repeating itself here as we head through the final corner. Ayumu Iwasa and Dams are going to be on top in Formula 2 here today, but out of the final corner, 4 tenths away, it's another solid haul of points.
Brilliant job, mate. That's a fantastic podium. Super driving, really strong pace. I'm really happy. Well deserved.
So another fantastic victory for Dams today. Tell me, Davide, what was the key to this success?
It was down to one thing: consistent pace over everyone else out there on the track. We could spend a great deal of time talking about race and tire strategy, what has occurred on the track, but at the end of the day, the difference here was down to simply being faster on track than everyone else. Amazing skill on show.
And I can see our drivers making their way out now. It's been a sublime team performance, and it's the culmination of a lot of hard work. Dams are your winners today. And now, let's take a look at the driver's standings. The gap at the top of the championship has been cut down after a difficult race for our championship leader. And so, driver of the day then, Davide Valsecchi, who do you think you'd go for?
My driver of the day was Theo Purcher. He did a cracking job moving through the field. Just a very good race.
On to the teams then. ART have extended their lead over the championship. Another team that excelled today was Dams, who make further progress up the table. After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you there. Take care.
Well, there we are then, the end of the F2 sprint race here from Jeddah, and it is Ayumu Iwasa who walks away with the race victory there. We come P2 with the fast lap bonus point, means we only lose out 1 point to the Dams driver there. Dennis Hauger P3 ahead of Jack Doohan, and yeah, Felipe Drogovic, a very good race by him. 10th to 5th there ahead of Cordile, Sargent and Sato rounding out our point scorers there. Clement Novalak and Callan Williams just missed out on the points as well there. It does mean championship-wise, Jem Bollock-Bassi still leads the way, 2 points clear now of Felipe Drogovic. We now jump ahead of Iwasa and Fred Vesti up into P3 overall of the table. And look at that, 6 cars separated by less than 10 points. You've got to love Formula 2 there. Hauger with first big points of the year jumps Jay Anderuvla after his unfortunate mechanical failure there. Jack Doohan ahead of Cordile and Fittipaldi. And then you can just see Richard Verschoor getting bumped down the order there. Just now 5 drivers left to score already, and we're only 3 races in. Jake Hughes, Marcus Armstrong, Roy Nassani, Clement Novalak and Ralph Bosch on there. Constructors-wise, though, 10 points now. The gap we built up at the front of the field there. Dams up into P5 ahead of Trident. Prima jump High-Tech and Campos. And you and I Virtuosi jump Van Amersfoort as well there. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure you leave a like. Get yourself subscribed as well. And we will return tomorrow ready for the feature race. You guys do not want to miss that. None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members, so a massive thank you to all of the names you see on your screens currently for helping support the channel. You can join them by clicking the join button down below, and yeah, thank you once again to everyone that continues all the insane support on my work.